Hello children, hope finds you in the best of your health and safety. Today in English grammar we are going to start with a new concept and that is modals. So now first of all we will learn what are modals. So let's have a look at the meaning of modals. Modals are called the modal verbs. Modal verbs are a special kind of helping verb. A modal verb helps the main verb to express the mood of the subject and at the same time it can indicate possibility, persuasion, ability, willingness, etc. So there are many examples of modals given below. Let's read them out. Can, could, will, would, may, might, must, should. These all are the modal verbs. So now we will be learning some more important things about the modal verbs. Firstly, modal verbs do not add s or es to the third person singular. So this means that you will never use s or es with the modal verb. Like we make it do, does, go, goes, because if the singular subject is there, we add s or es to the main verb. But here, with the modal verb, we don't have to add any s or es. We will simply say, he can swim. The can will remain can whether it's being used with the singular subject or the plural subject. So the modal verbs don't need any of the additional s or es. Now let's move ahead. Modal verbs do not need auxiliary verbs to form negative and a question. You know children, we have learnt in the auxiliary verbs that when the auxiliary verb is missing, we add the magical auxiliary verb, the special one do, does or did. But here we don't need any such auxiliary verb to make it a negative or a question. Like the example is, she should stay. If you want to make it a negative one, you will simply add the negative word not. She should not stay. She should not. Only not is added with the modal only, right? And if you want to make it a question, you will say it like, why should she stay? The auxiliary verb is brought forward to make a question. Similarly, you have brought the modal verb forward. Should is before the subject. Why should she stay? Right? And the third important thing about modals is modal verbs do not have infinitives or ings. Like we are calling them verbs. So we add ing to the verbs. Can, canning cannot be there. But jump, jumping can be there. Right? So with the modal verbs, you don't add any of the ing also. I hope these three important things about modals are clear to you all. Now let's look at the list of modal verbs and their usage. Among common modal verbs we have can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, ought to, must. These all are the modals. Now let's look how to use can. We use can to show ability, possibility, like they can control their own work. You're talking about their ability, what they can do. They can control their work. Next, it talks about the impossibility. We cannot fix it. That means you're talking that what ability is not there. So you have turned it into a negative sentence also. Another thing for which can is used when you are asking for permission. Can I bring here? So you are asking permission. And can is also used when you are requesting. Can you help me? So in all these situations, in all these moods, this modal verb can is used. I hope this is clear to you all. Now let's look at the use of could. Could is the past form of can and it is used to ask for permission, like could I borrow your dictionary? It is also used to talk about request. Could you say it again more slowly? Now here the request which you are making is more polite than the can. It also shows the possibility. I think we could have another tea. So you are showing the possibility that what can be there. It also talks about future. I wish Cinderella could meet me next week. So you are wishing for the future. And it also talks about your past ability. He gave up his job so he could work for us. So you are talking that what happened in the past. I hope the use of could is also clear to you. Now let's look at the modal verb will. Will is basically used when you're talking about future. Like if you're taking